At the beginning of 2021, I made one of my most extreme New Year's goals ever, to read 50 books in a year. I really got into reading in 2021, but I only read 20 books that year, so I was looking to more than double that number in a single year. And like a lot of things in life, I may have procrastinated this challenge a little bit. Today's December 19th. I set out a goal at the beginning of this year to read 50 books in a year, and I've only read 42, which means I gotta read 8 books in 12 days. Book number 43, in the books. All right guys, it's been a minute since I have updated you and we are behind schedule by a lot. So I finished this book. Then, I don't have The Great Gatsby with me right now, but I finished that on the 24th. Really like that one. And right now I'm reading This Is How You Lose the Time More. I'm at book 45. I finished 45 books. I got 5 more to go. I think we're going to be trying for a buzzer beater on the 31st at like 11:30 at night. Okay, so I finished this book and oh my gosh, it was so bad. Why are they simping so easy? I wouldn't simp that easily. I'm on Rich Dad Poor Dad now. Tomorrow's the 28th and it's 6:49 p.m. right now on the 27th. I'm getting nervous. It's just after 3 o'clock and book 47 is done. Look at all these stickies, baby. I loved this book. So book 48 is done and dusted, but it's December 30th. So that means I have to finish 2 books in 2 days. Just finished Clara and the Sun. It's almost midnight on the 30th. Almost the 31st. 1-star book. 7:45 on New Year's Eve. I can finish this, right? This is book 50. If I finish this before midnight, we did it. Let's go. What a rowdy New Year's Eve right here, right? In bed with a book and my little Marmotech boots on, they're Therabody. Rowdy. It's just about 10 o'clock on the 31st. And I did it. I did it. Book 50. Boom, we did it. I can honestly say reading 50 books this year changed my life. It had a huge impact on so many different day-to-day areas of my life, but the first one I want to talk about is sleep. So like a lot of us, I used to watch television shows before bed. And sometimes I was like, hey, I need double the screens right now before bed, so let me scroll on my phone while watching something on my iPad, just double the blue light before bed. So as I'm sure we've all been told a handful of times, looking at blue light before you go to bed is not good. It's going to make you stay up longer instead of making you sleepy and do the thing you want to do, go to sleep. I also found when watching television shows before going to bed, I would make myself stay up longer. The episode would end on a cliffhanger and I'd be like, oh my gosh, I can't fall asleep with that cliffhanger. Let me force myself to stay up a little bit longer so I can see what happens. And a lot of times I would fall asleep with the show on, which meant the volume was on, and obviously you're not going to get into a deep sleep when a television show's audio is playing less than a foot away from your ear. Reading naturally makes me tired like a lot of other people when I do it in bed. And unlike TV, it's much harder to do when you're super tired and your body wants to go to sleep. It takes a lot more brain power and focus, and you're just not gonna be able to read if your body is trying to go to sleep. I find with television, I can keep myself awake longer. With reading, my eyes just shut. So now my bedtime routine is get into bed, lower those lights behind my bed, open my book, start reading, my eyes eventually start to close, and once they start to close, I literally just drop my book and go to bed. Another area of my life that improved with reading is my attention span. So I have ADHD. My attention is atrocious. With the way social media apps are engineered, we're getting shorter and shorter attention spans. Videos are made quicker and quicker with more and more jump cuts to keep our short attention spans engaged. I'm guilty of this. This is how I edit my videos as well. Reading does not give you that immediate dopamine hit that you get when you pick up your phone and scroll on social media. So it's understandable why a lot of people go for a phone instead of a book when they have a spare moment or are just chilling for a second. But substituting a few pages of a book instead of mindlessly scrolling while I'm waiting for something like a video to export or just have a few moments has really helped cut down on my impulsive habit of just picking up my phone whenever I literally have a spare second. I would just grab my phone, just mindlessly scroll. Not even interested in what I was looking at, but just enjoying the feeling of having my phone in my hand and scrolling. It's definitely something I'm still working on though. I'm still someone who picks up my phone a lot, goes on social media a lot. I'm still trying to cut down on it, but reading has definitely helped. And another maybe obvious way reading has changed my life is the actual knowledge you find in the books. I mean, look at all these stickies here. Especially in nonfiction books, I've read so many things and learned so many things that I implement into my day-to-day life. And I've learned a ton from fiction stories as well. They show you just what your creativity is capable of the stories, even if they aren't real because they're fiction, they are inspiring. So if you want to read 50 books in a year, you can do it as well. And here are some tips I have for you. 1, if you're just getting into reading for the first time, find a book you like. If you start reading a book and you're not really into it, boom, dump it. Don't finish reading that book. Find another one that you really like, because when you first start reading, you want to start with a book you really like so you get momentum, you get the ball rolling, so you have that positive connection with reading and it's something you look forward to doing. If there's certain television shows or movies you like, you can just type in on Google books like, I don't know, whatever movie you like, let's say Inception or something, and then there'll be articles that pop up probably, or even Reddit. Reddit is a great place to find book recommendations. So if you're looking for a book that's like a movie or something else you like, just type in books like whatever that thing is you like. Something that can help you find the time to read is by looking at your screen time on your phone. You can go look at your screen time, see how much time you're spending on each app. If there's certain apps you don't want to be spending so much time on, let's say you spent a half an hour longer than you would have liked to on X app, you can say, okay, I'm going to schedule a half an hour here to read and take that time you would have spent on that app to read. I think scheduling it in the beginning is important just so you get into the habit of reading. Big tip I have, which I do, is use Goodreads. Goodreads isn't sponsoring this video, but I have a Goodreads account, and on the app you can set up yearly reading challenges, and that's how I stayed on track with the 50 books a year, or knew when I was really behind, because it will come up and say, oh, you're 3 books behind, you're 4 books behind. At one point I was like 8 books behind schedule, and it's just really motivating every time you log a book and you see that progress bar move up a little bit, like you're 50% to your goal, 71% to your goal. It gamifies the task of reading. One of my favorite places to go is the bookstore. So find a cool bookstore in your area. They're really fun to go to. Find some cool books there. You'll see some books that are staff picks. I've had some good luck with reading books that were staff picks, and it's just an enjoyable place to go. So if you want to get into reading, go to a bookstore. I feel like that will help you want to read, being surrounded by all those cool books. So yeah, bookstores have a lot of cool physical books, but you don't have to read an actual book. You can use an audiobook. You can download a book on your phone, on your iPad. Don't be afraid to not read a physical book. Audiobooks are still reading. I didn't listen to any this year personally, but there are a few books that I read that I want to reread, but reread on an audiobook. An audiobook allows you to read more frequently. Let's say you're commuting, you can throw out an audiobook. Let's say you're going for a walk or a run, you can throw in your audiobook, because I don't think you can really read a book and run. That seems pretty dangerous. I'm just gonna throw up on the screen all the books I read this year. If you wanna see all of them, you can just pause it. And if you're looking for books to read, check out my top 5 books that I read this year. I recommend all these books. Appreciate you watching till the end. Make sure you subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000 subs. Peace.